So now you have SA Marks and SA Marks 2. SA Marks 2 is different from SA Marks because SA Marks simply has upper, second class, third class, lower class, and the string format for the variable grade, whereas SA Marks 2 has a numeric format. This is a ranked order variable, and this is the one that we want to choose for analyses. Let's click on RCommander, activate RCommander, and let's activate SA Marks 2 so that we can work on analyzing this. The first thing we'd like to do is run some statistics on normality checks, and we want to take SA and apply, and hours and apply, and look at the output data on the console of RStudio. So in both cases, for both of these variables, we can say that the data has actually come from a normally distributed population, because the difference between that population and the sample is greater than 0.05. And if it is greater than 0.05, then we assume that there is no difference between the two. So we say that this data is normally distributed. Now, of course, you can run your skewness test, and you can check for the variables by graphing and box plots and histograms and so forth, but we're not necessarily going to do that today. The next thing we're going to do is actually create by going back to RCommander, we're going to, let's cancel out of this. Let's actually run our correlations. And our correlations are going to be between SA and hours spent. And then we're going to go ahead and run hours and grade. And so the first one is hours and SA. These are the two continuous variables. As SA was a numeric grade, and hours is the hours spent writing this. Because there are two continuous interval variables, we're going to use Pearson's product moment and click on OK. And this is your output. You have a positive correlation. It's small, as we can see by the R coefficient of 0.26. And it's up to you to interpret that in terms of effect size. So make sure that, remember that there is a R squared effect size that you need to calculate. And the next thing we're going to do is run our statistics on the correlation test for a number of hours, and the grade in rank order. So as I say that, I immediately notice that I need to run this correlation between these two variables and click on Spearman rank order. And you can click on OK. Now you can ignore this silly messages you get from RCommander and simply focus on the correlation. And it's up to you again to interpret this. Notice that you have a negative correlation. The last thing we're going to do is, if you ever run into a small sample size, let's go ahead and activate RCommander again. If you ever run into small sample size, in this case we have 45 observations, relatively small, we can run a correlation. We can run that correlation and simply click on Kendall's-Taw and run. As you do so, you'll notice that your coefficient becomes a little bit smaller, and it is also negative. Now, what this correlation is doing is simply adjusting for a small sample size. And those are the steps. It's again in your hands to interpret this data, interpret the results, and write a short report. Thank you.